Hi, I'm Sandra and I'm an osteopath and I'm a Pilates instructor and I'm the owner of Aligned Wellness. Right, so the story of Aligned Wellness. So I qualified as an osteopath in 2009 and I was working as an associate osteopath at different practices in Kent and in East Sussex. But whilst I was working there, I also had just a bed in a spare room at home and I used to treat patients there. And I did that for a good 10 years and then COVID hit in 2020. So we were at the practice and studio at home for about 4.5 years. During that time, we built quite a big client base, both in the osteopathy and the Pilates. And there's often quite a crossover between the two services because they complement each other quite well. We built a community, which was lovely because it then became a space that people could come to kind of feel better both mentally and physically. And yeah, it's kind of grown from strength to strength really since then. So when COVID hit in 2020, I couldn't work anymore at the practice I was in town because of the restrictions. But the demand for work was still there. And we decided to convert the garage at home into a practice room. And we had a purpose-built studio at the back. And I bought 4 reformer machines and had the Pilates studio at the back and then the practice room at the front. And that is where Aligned Osteopathy and Pilates, which we then rebranded in 2025 as Aligned Wellness. So here we offer reformer Pilates. We offer clinical Pilates one-to-one, so rehabilitation and or people just want a one-to-one service. We offer osteopathy, we offer physiotherapy, reflexology, hypnotherapy, acupuncture. We offer massages, so sports massages. We offer lymphatic massages. We've had some lovely, lovely people joining our team who complement our ethos and our vision here. So lymphatic massages, wellness massages, somatic therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, Indian head massage. I mean, there's a lot, and then we have more to come as well. So at the moment, that's what we're offering. Osteopathy, I got into because I've always been interested and fascinated by the human body from when I was a young child. And even at school, I always enjoyed learning about the human body, what it does, how it works, how to fix it when it's not working. And so I always knew I was going to end up in a profession that involved the human body. So I liked osteopathy because you have the interaction with the people and you're helping them along their journey. Yeah, that's why I chose osteopathy. I accidentally got into Pilates, actually. It was my sister-in-law who took me to a reformer Pilates class. And I just thought it was just one of those, just going for a stretch with old people, or that's the misconception I had. And boy, was I wrong. I was humbled, I was excited, I was fascinated about how Pilates works and how it makes your body so strong and supports it at the same time. So I got curious, started researching about Pilates, and I did my course in clinical Pilates with APPI with my friend Anna, who's also an osteopath, and we've been on that journey since really. Ended up having a reformer, just one machine at home in our spare room, and I used to just treat my clients there and just used to do rehab one-to-one there. And then that grew to our studio that had 4 machines, and then to here, now we've got 8 machines. So yeah, that's how I got into Pilates, but it was more for the rehabilitation side of things, and I've fallen in love with it, and it's a part of my life, and I love it. I've been an osteopath for 17 years now. 2018. I've been teaching reformer. I've been doing Pilates since 2018 and reformer Pilates since 2020. So within osteopathy, I do obviously the hands-on manual osteopathy. So that could include sort of massages, soft tissue work, manipulations. I use dry needling as well, which is like the acupuncture needles. I use cupping. I use quite a few tools actually. I use like the massage gun. recently trained in shockwave, and that's been a game changer, especially for more the chronic tendinitis type of symptoms. That's been amazing. But they are my main ways of treating, as well as cranial osteopathy, which is amazing, especially when treating babies and adults as well. So I've got quite a few tools in my toolbox, so to say. I was trained in clinical Pilates, which is it takes the principles of classical Pilates and makes them more rehab friendly. So you're aware of how people move and the different positions and how to best treat them, especially if they have certain medical conditions or if they've just had surgery or something like that that's very specific. So I would like to say my kind of Pilates is almost like a hybrid. So there are lots of principles of the classical Pilates in there, but also a lot of the clinical side, because I'm always reading bodies, and a lot of people actually get amazed how I figured out that they've got a tight hip just from how they were moving on the machine, you know, kind of that kind of thing. So it's kind of a hybrid of classical Pilates, contemporary Pilates, and clinical Pilates. The main kind of success story that I would think of, and this is one that happens quite a lot, and this is why a lot of people end up coming to us, is, you know, someone's in spasm in a bad way, they are, you know, they can't move, or they're bent over, they can't turn their head one way, and they come in for a treatment and they feel so much better. They come out straighter, they can walk better. Sometimes you get those immediate effects, and that's really quite nice for them and for me to see that I've made a difference to their life. But that's a really, really common one, and it never gets old. I never get tired of that feeling of having helped somebody, and even just the happiness and the amazement of how quickly sometimes the sessions do work. That's what's quite nice. Yeah, again, plenty. But one that really is close to my heart, and yeah, this one's a nice one. So I had a lady come into our class. She was, you know, a little bit overweight, and she'd had a, you know, really bad accident, and her balance was all over the place, and she just needed some rehabilitation. So she came in for that, but in a small group setting, and she has grown from strength to strength. So what Pilates has done for her was almost re-educate her nervous system. So after she had the accident, she had lost almost like her balance and some control of her body in some regard, and the coordination. And doing the Pilates, because you have to concentrate so much on what your body's doing. You can't be thinking about, oh my gosh, did I put the washing out? You can't. You have to concentrate on your body and what you're doing, as well as breathing. But all of that has helped her so much. Like now, she's able to do the things that she enjoys doing. She's lost weight. She feels vibrant. She's got a new lease of life, and it's so lovely to see. And you're making a difference, but you're making a difference to someone's life, but they're doing it themselves. I find it quite empowering for the people that come here, because there's things that they think, I couldn't possibly do that, and then the persistence and the consistency of their practice, they're like, oh my gosh, I remember I never used to be able to do this, or I was on that spring or that spring. So it's just nice when you see people's progressions. But yeah, that one is a really good example of a success story, and this is why I love what I do and the differences that you can make to people's lives. It's not just about how you look aesthetically. Yes, it's important, but it's not always about that. Sometimes it's about how you feel, and some of the wins that some people might not even think about, but they are wins for that person. And I'm so happy and glad and privileged to be a part of that journey. For fun, what's that? For fun, I like to hang out with my kids and my husband. I like to go for days out, and I also like a lot of me time. So I love a spa day, and I like nice spas. So I like to go to spas and just have a chill out time, whether by myself or with friends, or sometimes with my husband too. That's nice. So yeah, spending time with friends and family is nice. It's important to me. And yeah, having a good time. Karaoke, actually, karaoke. I love karaoke. I can sing, not very well, but I like to think I am very good. Others might think otherwise, but I don't care.